Open war between Pranab Mukherjee and P. Chidambaram. Joining us with the latest details of this, Barkha Dutt and Arunachalam Vaidyanathan. Barkha, what exactly does this Ministry of Finance note show, and what are the political implications of it?
Well, Vishnu, Vaidya will take you through the details of that note that was sent in March earlier this year to the Prime Minister's office. But what the important point to focus on is how it has flagged what many have known, what's been an open secret in the corridors of power: Pranab Mukherjee versus P. Chidambaram. We saw a war over chewing gums erupt earlier when Pranab Mukherjee accused Mr. Chidambaram's ministry of having bugged his offices. Now you're seeing Pranab Mukherjee and his ministry hitting back at Mr. Chidambaram, directly questioning the current Home Minister's role on key decisions he took on the pricing of spectrum when Mr. Chidambaram was the finance minister. It's given the opposition a ready-made issue on a platter to whip the government with. They're turning around and they're saying Mr. Chidambaram must resign. They're also talking about dissent within the government, saying these allegations are no longer coming from the opposition. They're coming actually from the veteran politician, the senior-most minister in the government itself, Pranab Mukherjee. Remember, the first page of this note sent by a deputy director in the finance ministry to the Prime Minister's office says that Pranab Mukherjee has personally seen the note before it was forwarded to the Prime Minister's office. Mr. Chidambaram's stand on this has been consistent. He has said on record and even unofficially, according to sources close to him, that he has repeatedly, as finance minister, asked the spectrum be auctioned. That he said in a letter to the Prime Minister that he opposed the trading of spectrum and said that if spectrum is to be traded, then the government should get a premium on it. However, that's clearly an argument that hasn't been accepted by the deputy director of the finance ministry, who, with Pranab Mukherjee's consent, has in a sense declared war against Mr. Chidambaram, saying if Mr. Chidambaram had stuck to his guns, then A. Raja would not have been able to carry on with the policy that he did, and an auction would still have been possible.
All right, Barkha. In fact, I have a copy of that note that you're referring to, and it says very clearly on the cover page, this has been seen by the finance minister. But actually, Vaidya, it's on page 104 of this that the crucial elements, and correct me if I'm wrong, actually come out, where it mentions that there were clauses in which all of this could have ensured that there wasn't any auction that took place, or in fact that that an auction should have taken place and it shouldn't have happened in the manner in which it ultimately did. So what are those details in page 104 which seem to indicate this potential battle between Pranab Mukherjee and Mr. Chidambaram?
Vishnu, this is the document which was submitted by Dr. Subramaniam Swamy to the Supreme Court and has become a document of the court. This note, basically, as you rightly said, it clearly says this note has been seen by the finance minister. As you pointed out, there are 2 points in this note, important points. As you point on 1.104, the note clearly says finance secretary at that time suggested there should be an auction, but Raja's ministry said for a level playing field there should not be any auction, and the note goes on to say if the finance minister and his ministry, that's P. Chidambaram's ministry, is stuck to his stand invoking the penalty clause, there could have been auction, but Chidambaram's ministry did not do that. And the second important point, both the ministers, Mr. A. Raja and Mr. Chidambaram, were consensusly saying that there should not be any auction. They should stick to the 2001 price of 1,650 crores. This is a very crucial point, and this document has become the Supreme Court document. Right now, the Supreme Court hearing the case on Swamy's petition whether there should be a probe into the alleged role of Mr. P. Chidambaram into the 2G case or not. So now court will decide, but of course it will take a little time. Tomorrow the arguments will continue. CBI, of course, saying that it's not for the Supreme Court to look into this issue, it's for the trial court only. Swamy cannot ride 2 horses.
NDTV's cricket app, Android and iPhone. Fastest scorecard, special analysis, and much more. Download free. ndtv.com/apps.